attractive thinker, do not move, okay? Because we have something to share with you today. I am delighted that you decided to join us again for another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. You know, attractive thinker, I know you've had a week, you've had some days, you've had some energetic experiences, you had some things that you have not understood, and you feel like you're in a race, you're running. If you're like us, you're an attractive thinker with passion and fire, and you're driven. You're a creator. You're about carving a new generational path and breaking some cycles and patterns. And what we want to share with you today is do not quit. Keep running. Welcome my co-host, Tichet Bradshaw.
Hi, everybody. It's such an awesome day to be alive.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Welcome, guys.
When we talk about don't quit, keep running, we're talking about allowing you have to understand and be aware that you're not doing this by yourself. You have to be aware of the power. When I talk about the power, I want you to understand something. Do an assessment over your life, your defining moments, not your entire life. Those moments that stand out, those moments where your back was against the wall, those moments where your heart broke. I want you to understand, you didn't overcome that by yourself. You couldn't have. It's not humanly possible to come through some of the things that you came through in your life, and you know that. You know that you were not alone. So when we talk about don't quit, keep running, you're not running by yourself. You have to allow the power. It's one thing to run and you're running in power, but it's another thing to run and you're aware of the power. That's a whole different run. That's a whole different race. Understand, attractive thinker, that you're not alone. And the only way you're going to get to the I won't even say the end or the finish line. The only way you're going to get to the next goal, the next level, is that you don't quit.
When we're mindlessly going through life, that is one thing I don't know if I've considered. What am I running for? Because your why makes the biggest difference in the world. You know, when you have your why in place, and then you also have your goal or your desired outcome in mind, those two together will help you not quit.
When we're running, we're not running based on physical resources. We're not running based on what we have. We're running based on the invisible. We're running because of our perseverance. We're running because of that fire that's inside of us. We're running because we're determined and passionate. We're running after our vision. We have a vision and we saw it. You're the only one that saw it, and you're the only one that can accomplish it. And that's why we're running, because we're running so that we don't fall back into our default mode of procrastination. You have to run so you don't procrastinate, because as soon as you slow down, procrastination sets in. We're running so our default mindset won't take over, that not good enough, not worthy, not deserving, or how in the world are you going to accomplish this? We're running so that we don't get distracted. When you're running, you don't see things that you would normally see if you were walking or crawling.
Staying in the same place is not an option. We have to keep running. We have to keep moving, because if you keep still, if you're a runner and you keep still, you're going to snuff that fire out. And then what? And then you're going to have to start all over. You feel like you got to start over. You feel like you lost. But here's why we said don't give up, keep running. Because even if you find yourself in a place where you might be going into that place where you feel broken, or you feel like you're at your breaking point and you feel like you can't run any longer, you know, we're saying do everything in your power to just keep moving. Eventually you'll pick up speed. Eventually you'll get back to where you want to pick up speed and run and run and run. But don't give up. I feel like failure to me is not about whether or not you tried something or experimented with something and it didn't work. Failure to me is when you quit.
But when you're running, attractive thinker, running for your life, running for your legacy, running for your generation, running for your bloodline, running for your moment in time, running for your children, running for your mindset, I have clients that I work with, they exercise for mental health. Do you get that? Do you know the importance of running? The importance of having movement going on in your life? Attractive thinkers don't walk. We don't do nothing walking. We do everything running.
Runners, we will make something out of nothing. We're going to keep going. We're going to get that end result. We're not going to, if I give you a cup of sugar and you're a runner, you're not going to sit it on a shelf. You're going to go and find other stuff to make with it. You're going to add some butter and some eggs and some flour and some baking powder and some cinnamon maybe, and you can make yourself some cinnamon cookies. You're going to do something with that sugar because you know that sugar is not designed to just sit on the shelf. It's designed to be used. If you're a runner, you were created to run. You can't just sit still. Sitting still is not an option. Sitting still to a runner feels like failure.
The moment that you click to listen to this message, that time is gone. It's gone forever. You can't even get that back. We're in a new time right now, a new moment, a new minute. That's why we're running, because time is moving so fast, and we can accomplish a whole lot with a little bit of time when you're running. But you can only accomplish so much in a little bit of time when you're walking, when you're tiptoeing, when you're skipping, when you're crawling, or when you're not moving at all. Don't quit, keep running means that you're going to reach your goal if you don't quit.
Because a runner going to keep running until he can't run no more. You're going to keep running. It is in you. It is a part of you. You're going to find something to run for when you are a runner. You know, but what you acquire along the way, and when you get to that destination, you can't take it for granted because you know what you had to go through in order to get there. Now, the thing about it, some of us will get to a specific destination, or we might achieve a specific outcome, and there might be people who might look and say, oh, you might have had it easy, or you don't understand where I come from, or you don't understand what I'm going through. No, we understand clearly what you're going through. We just did not allow those excuses to stop us from running.
The more you run, the stronger you get. The more you run, the more you transform. You're transforming in flight. You're transforming in flight. You don't even look like you did when you started running. And the more you run, the more you're shedding off things, and you're letting go of things, and things that used to matter don't matter anymore. The more you run, your shirt is falling, and your shoes are falling, and your clothes are transforming, and your body is changing. And by the time you catch up with that presence, you have become who you have been running for. And you're not who you were when you started. That's why you don't quit, because when you quit, you're not quitting the race, you're quitting on you.
It is important when you are running to have these affirmations in place. You are going to need it. It is like water to your spirit. When you're out there running, you have to quench that thirst. You have to have those words in place to say to yourself when you find yourself getting mentally, spiritually dehydrated. You have to have those words that will perk up the thirst, but then quench it. You know, so those affirmations in place really makes a big difference in the words, because these are not just words you're speaking. This is power you're carrying with you.
You've been following us for a while. You've heard me say good is the enemy of great all day long. Why settle for good when you can have it great? See, a lot of times, Tichet, we struggle with change because we think in order to change, it has to be bad. It doesn't have to be bad. It just has to be a desire there for great. It just has to be a burning desire there for you to want more in order for you to change.
Our experience really is up to us, you know, because how we see a thing, how we perceive a thing is how we will receive it. So it all depends on the narrative that you're playing in your head. It's easy to be seduced when you don't understand the rules of the game, when you don't understand what's really being played, when you're so busy trying to justify the hidden sentences and things like that goes with your story, that you're not seeing the truth. You're easily seduced.
The subtle seduction of the subconscious mind to keep you from growing, to keep you from changing, to keep you from doing better, to keep you from becoming new. I want you to think about that. Euphoric recall is a real thing. And a lot of times living life beyond the break, the break could be you changing your identity. The break could be you transforming your life. I no longer want to live like this. I want to live like that. So that subtle seduction will rise up in your energy, in your subconscious mind, in your experience, and make you think that changing is wrong, that growing is wrong, that evolving and wanting more is wrong. It's a bad thing, not a good thing, because you had it good.
And that acceptance is because we believe the subtle seduction. We believe what they said when they say, okay, things change. You know, it tries to show you change, even though there's no change in the atmosphere, and we see it. We see it, but we don't want to believe it, because believing it means we have to let go of something. And letting go of something can be good if you understand that you're letting go of good to be great. We deserve greatness. And nowhere in our experience should there be settlement, where we're settling for mistreatment. We're settling for less. We're settling for brokenness. We're settling for tears. We're settling to live in a place where we don't feel safe, and we don't feel it's not helping us to build. We got a lot to do as visual encouragers and the attractive thinkers. We have a lot to build. We do not have time to go backwards to read a story that's a lie. We got to let it go.
You're wired, you're destined to reach a certain potential in your life, your fullest potential. It's coded in your DNA to reach your fullest potential. That's just like telling a child, you know what? Telling a 5-year-old child, you know what? I'm not buying you any more shoes, so you're just going to have to make these shoes fit. You can grow all you want, but you're just going to have to make these shoes fit. Think about that. Think about that. That's what happens when we're struggling to grow and we're being seduced by the subconscious mind, by the old program, by the old life. We're wearing shoes that are too tight. We're wearing a life that is too tight. We're experiencing an experience that doesn't fit. And we can't grow. Inside, you're wired to grow, but you squeezed yourself into this small life.
If you're doing it mindlessly, you're not going to get what's expected. That's for sure. And then to have that expectation not met brings suffering. Mm-hmm. That's what you're going to get back when you mindlessly live. But when you start living with intention and you start paying attention, you start getting the joy and the nourishment out of everything, not just food. You're not just eating for just because it tastes delicious. What about the nourishment? Food is supposed to provide you with benefits to help you heal. It's supposed to open your mind. It's supposed to help you raise above whatever circumstance you are fixed on. Because what you focus on grows. So the circumstances you have that's going on now, it's what you're focused on that makes it stand out more. But it's easy to focus on subtle stuff, subtle seduction, when you're not paying attention to the bigger game, like we said. Our life experience is made up through a series of yeses and nos, what we will accept and what we won't accept. When we go through life and we say, yeah, I want this house, I'll accept that. I want to wear this shirt, I'll accept that. I want these friends, I'll accept that. I don't want to eat that, no, I don't accept that. It's through a series of yes and no. And your yes and no stem from your connection to it.
Our feelings are our truth. I mean, none of us want to experience heartbreak. You know, this is why we're here to support you in living life beyond the break. You know, none of us want to experience heartbreak, but when the heart breaks, truth rises to the surface. And the only thing that I know that'll set us free is truth.
We're not telling you to focus on, negative feelings and, allow your life to shift and shape on negative feelings because some things is not okay. We're not saying to focus on that, because what you're focused on will grow. We're saying expose it so that it can heal.
If we're focusing so much on the physical, we're showing up as an image of ourselves and not the real self. So this hollow being is walking around, this empty being is walking around, in our place, and we don't even get to show up in our day. How many times have our days come and go, and we're in and out of our day, and at the end of the day, you sit on the side of the bed, you're like, I didn't get to do anything for myself. I didn't get to fully express myself. I didn't get to experience any of the things that bring me joy, that I love, that I like, And if that's the case, then we're walking around as an image of the real thing. When you deny your feelings, you're an image of the real thing. So people are looking at you thinking they're getting you, and they don't have a clue that you didn't even get to show up, that they're just hanging out and playing around and having fun with a picture of you.
I acknowledge how I feel in the moment when I'm going through stuff. What is this? Is it fear? Is it encouragement? Is it hope? Is it hopelessness? What is this? So that I could know that this is the way that I need to go. And when I don't quite know, I find a way to get understanding. I search for that understanding. I don't just keep going in something and I'm like, I don't feel good about this. And next thing you know, your stomach hurt, you're stressed, you got heart palpitation, you got all these allergies and illnesses and going on, and you are now at a dis-ease because you allowed yourself to disregard what you felt.
Cool to get through your day, but how you feel getting through your day makes all the difference in the world. It's not an accomplishment just to get through the day. Did you get through the day with joy and peace and happiness and contentment and excitement? And so it's not about getting through your day, it's how you get through your day. So attractive thinker, what we're sharing with you today is, you're not imagining this. How you feel is real.
The more we ignore red flags, the more red flags come and keep getting past us. You numb yourself to red flags. You allow yourself to get comfortable living empty. And then you become so accustomed to living empty that you don't know anything else, that when somebody or something comes into your life and offers you some encouragement, some uplifting idea that could change your life and help you live for fulfillment, you sit there and you deny it because you feel like you don't deserve it, because you got used to living as an empty shell.
If we make peace our priority and we begin to function and structure our day around following peace, we end up creating peaceful days, which creates a peaceful lifestyle. And now the real you can step out of the background, because the real you is not even going to step into the forefront of your life if it's afraid, if it's being disrespected, if it's abused, if it's always being shut down, if it never gets opportunities, if life is always a challenge. The real you is not up for that. So the real you, you're going to always suppress the real you until you create an environment where the real you can grow.
You are made up of so many things, and you're not just skin and bones here. You're not just skin and bones, just trying to get through one day and into the other, and you just letting life pass you by. You look up and 5 years pass, you ain't did nothing different, ain't thought nothing different, and you feel that and you go, you try to make excuses for it. No, feel that and make a change. That change starts with you acknowledging that this is how you feel, and that's not okay, or that is okay, and then you make a change concerning it and be okay with it. So when you start paying attention to your thoughts and making your thoughts a priority, making your feelings a priority, allowing your thoughts to be of value, you'll start to see that change, and that manifestation will be something to live for and one for the books.
Sometimes throughout life you struggle with what decision to make, or what's the next step, or what's now. I've accomplished this level of success, now what? And you're not sure. You feel this unbalanced feeling, like walking on a tightrope, trying to catch your balance. And you want to know what the next step is, or what's the answer, or where do I go from here? And so many things are coming at you at once, and you got those bright, shiny objects. Things look great. You know, it looks like a great opportunity. It looks like I should go in this direction or that direction. It looks good, but is it good for us? And what do we use to gauge that response, that answer, that thing that makes us feel comfortable that this is the right path to take? One of the things that we do as attractive thinkers, we get crystal clear with this particular tool, reducing our life to the moment. Your entire life is in the current moment that you're living right now.
Any moment of today can change your outcome for tomorrow. That means that you're trusting life on a moment-to-moment basis. So when you show up in this moment and you have that trust and believe that anything could happen, this moment can present the opportunity you needed to change the fears you had for tomorrow, to change your plans for tomorrow and end up giving you a bigger one, a higher one. So any moment of today can change your outcome tomorrow. You don't know who's waiting to bless you. You don't know who's waiting in the wings to give you a powerful word. All it takes is one moment. All it takes is one word that can change everything.
A defining moment changes your life forever. So your entire life was captured in that moment. It changed the course of your life. It put you on a different path. So when we talk about my whole life in one moment, if you take the time, this is what we're trying to say to you today. If you take the time to sit in this moment and assess it, am I going in the right path? What am I feeling about this moment that I'm in? Do I feel joy? Do I feel sadness? Do I feel excitement? Do I have anticipation? Do I feel aligned and balanced? Do I feel like I'm on the right path? Assess where you are in this moment, because this moment determines the rest of your life. This moment is creating the rest of your life.
Where you're going is not where you are, but if you look, where you are is not where you've been. But if you get the bigger picture, you can see that it all lives in this moment. This moment matters. This moment is what's shaping your next moment. Your ability to soften your heart, your ability to receive, your ability to know and understand and gain clarity is in this moment, but you have to accept that.
See, when you think about the future that you want to create, it's impossible to not consider the moment that you're in. It's impossible to not, because see, that's where the confusion comes in at. We don't have a connection. We don't make the connection where our future is. We look at our future or view it as so far off. We're not making the connection that I'm creating my future right now in this very moment, that I am my future.
We are in charge of how we spend our energy, how we spend our time, how we spend our money, and now how we spend our moment. It is up to us how we spend it. And I say to spend it intentional so that you can empower and allow yourself to leave a mark that's great in this earth. Your name is great in this moment. If you're listening to this message, it's not by coincidence. It's not by happenstance that you click play on this video. We're talking to you intentionally, putting in your mind that this moment you are great. This moment your name is made great. This moment offers you so much power and peace. It is up to you to accept it and receive it, but you gotta be open to understanding what this moment presents. It presents everything you want and desire.
Do you know the things that you go through in life can never erase who you are, which is great? It can never erase your power. You're still powerful. You're still fantastic and amazing. You know, like Tichet, you mentioned about walking in the rain. When we're walking, walking down the street or whatever, and we may have our umbrella, it's a tool because we anticipate the rain. We thought it was going to rain. We listened to the weather, whatever, we thought it was going to rain. But do you know that even though the rain begins and you put your tool up, which is your umbrella, do you know it doesn't change who you are? It didn't change how beautiful you looked. It didn't change the fact that you were great. It didn't change the fact that you were joyful or happy. You just were prepared for the rain. And that's what I want you to think about as we close this episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. As long as you have your attractive thinker tools, you can walk in the rain. As long as you have your attractive thinker tools, you'll never stop being great. Even if your greatness is wet, even if your greatness is cold, even if your greatness is broken, even if your greatness is hurt and wounded, you're still great. So remembering who you are, staying in the moment. Don't go back. Those moments are gone. You can't go forward because you haven't created those moments yet. Stay in the moment because your whole life, my whole life, in this one moment. Attractive thinker, again, click the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share this message with your circle of influence. I want you to visit our website, theattractivethinker.guru. You may be open for a consultation. You may have listened to this message and say, you know what, I'm tired of struggling alone. You know what, I got a lot of clarity out of this message that I heard with Tichet Bradshaw and Dr. Toni Hatton. I want to know more. I want to get closer. I want you to book a free complimentary consultation, okay? An opportunity for you to get closer, to know more about what it is that we offer. I support new and aspiring entrepreneurs. I support dreamers, visionaries, people who want to create, live, and leave a legacy that speaks, like Tichet said, when we no longer can. And you have to be intentional with the life that you live. You have to be intentional with your moments in order to exist in two worlds when you no longer exist in this one. So visit our website, theattractivethinker.guru, and scroll down to the bottom and click the link there to book a free consultation. Tichet, please tell our audience how they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. You can find me on my website at www.visualencouragement.com. We provide mental support for people dealing with depression who desires to lift the heaviness so that they can create a new vision for themselves. Go to my contact us page, put in your information. Let me know how I can encourage you, enlighten you, and uplift you so that you can have such a fulfilling life. Again, that is www.visualencouragement.com. I'll see you soon.
I like what you said, creating a new vision for yourself. I like that, Tichet, because when we look in that mirror, and we talked about that, if you're struggling with what you see, Tichet can help you create a new vision for yourself. And when you create that new vision, you'll love looking in that mirror. But I want you to start right now today. Get a mirror, get your face in a mirror, spend some time with yourself in that mirror, and understand and accept the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it all works together for good. It all makes you who you are, and you are fantastic and amazing just the way you are. I want you to remember something. Our life's work, that's always to make your life better. It is not what you're going through, it's how you're doing it. Think attractively, and we'll see you soon.